Any questions till now?
No questions.
Yeah. Thank you. So I'll play a small video. Just let me know whether the audio is audible.
No, it's not audible to me.
We spend a lot of time
Now?
looking at
Yeah,
screens.
it's audible now.
Computers, smartphones, and televisions are a big part of our lives. They're how we get most of our news, use social media, watch movies, and more. Virtual reality and augmented reality are two technologies changing the way we use screens, creating new and exciting interactive experiences. Virtual reality, also known as VR, uses a headset with a built-in screen that displays a virtual environment for you to explore. These headsets use a technology called head tracking, which allows you to look around the environment by simply moving your head. Augmented reality, or AR, is a bit different. Instead of transporting you to a virtual world, it takes digital images and layers them on the real world around you. This is done through the use of either a clear visor or a smartphone. So with VR, you could explore a world full of dinosaurs. But with AR, you could see those dinosaurs moving through the world around you. Both of these technologies are growing at a rapid pace and being implemented in a variety of different ways. Surgeons are using VR to practice highly technical surgeries before operating. Businesses are using them to give consumers virtual tours of products and locations. There are even
Yeah, so that is the basic difference. Just wanted to like play that so that you will get the basic understanding. And from the XR point of view, these are the different like SDKs majorly which we have. And XR is basically X is a variable, right? So it can be a VR, MR, or AR. So which has different platforms as well as hardware to use. So AR is the mobile part of it, or like kind of a augmented reality where we mostly right now nowadays we use on the mobile side, but even going forward we will have in the glasses where we will be having HoloLens or Quest Pro kind of devices, kind of for the masses or the consumers. So Oculus has been like kind of released in 2017. After that, it went into like Facebook Horizon, and after that, it became like Quest, Meta Quest, and Meta Quest Pro devices. And the HoloLens is there from 2016. Right now, it is with HoloLens 2, the latest version. And this is the basic inception of AR, MR, and VR. But this has been there from long time. Like AR is there from even 1990s, where you would have seen on-screen visuals and even kind of image-based things, right? So you can see here, augmented reality adds the layers on the real world. For example, today also we use this for product visualization, simulation, entertainment, and navigation purposes. And quickly, I'll show a few of the things where we are using currently. Those are like try-ons, like placing again augmented things. So you can right now see Amazon is using it, Flipkart is using it, and a lot of jewelry companies are using it for try-ons in the augmented reality space. And even you can place the objects, place different kind of objects in the real world and interact with them. This is basically where the mobile AR comes into picture. And this is a sample for Flipkart AR augmented reality use case. And there are several use cases, right? So here I can just go through one of the case study where this is built with Unity, and they have used it for car optimization, sorry, car customization as well as understanding by the users. So this is done for Porsche, where the users has to understand and do customization for their car. So this is very much easy. In augmented reality, you can place the car in front of you and do the optimizations and all the customizations you want, and you can quickly order, right? From the customer point of view, it will be very easy to understand because Porsche is a very costly car and they will not have they will not be able to go to the store and because the customers are like that, so they can easily get this application on their phones or on the web. They can customize and see the real world experience, and they can quickly understand which model is for them and what all the textures and like different parts they want to change. So this is one of the case study, but this can be applied in different areas, right? Like for example, you can see Byju's is using the same kind of thing where in the tech education tech, so they can explain different kind of detailed physics and chemistry topics in a very easy manner by showing the 3D objects, where it is very much easy to understand and learn things, right? So this is the AR case study. Till now, any particular question or like problem statement? So is it understandable or so is it understandable or you're facing any kind of like gap or something? So we are
Yeah,
then
pretty
like
clear to me.
It's clear.
okay. Thank you. So coming back to VR, so VR is there from very much a long time, from 1950s nearly, and it has been changing the shape from different like very much heavy equipments to very much mobile device today. So even Apple is predicted to release a VR device, but right now we don't know. So it has a like very much different kind of use case compared to AR, because VR is a kind of a virtual reality, right? So you need that environment to be different. For example, creating simulations, kind of trainings, immersing the user in a different world where he needs to understand certain process. So that is the main area where we use VR, or even in games or entertainment, where you have to disconnect the user from the real world. So that is the main area. So we have a case study where I have presented this, and this is mainly on the equipment hardware process improvements. So this can be applied for any kind of process or any kind of training based use cases. So where you can actually create the 3D equipment using different tools and technologies. I'll anyway cover what tools we'll be using in this scenario. So you can see, right? So there are different kind of training materials and everything where you will have in traditional industries and hardware equipment area, right? Manufacturing or any kind of things. So where users need to understand different kind of processes, so which will be very much hectic, and they have to do on-field trainings and all these things because it will be very big machinery, right? So they cannot bring them home or this kind of stuff. So that is where VR will be very much useful, where they can actually get into VR
Hello.
space just with a headset or using a web or a screen, right? So where they can actually get through this process and understand step by step, and they can even try to kind of give this test in a real world kind of environment, but virtually, so that they will easily grasp at least 40 to 50% of the process. So when they really do it, it will be very easy for them. So this is one of the use case where we have actually put up the VR scenario. So this can be used in different ways, even for hospitality and hospital healthcare and different kind of areas, right? So even in real estate, people use VR where they can actually go through the apartments or different kind of newly built houses where they can easily understand how the look and feel of the building will be, and they will make a purchase decision. So this is the major extra. And quickly, I'll try to go through the technologies what we use in this area so that you will get to understand what is what. So this is the major XR application development criteria we go through. So majorly we use game engines for creating this kind of experiences. And if it is a lightweight application, even you can do that in like web-based things like Three.js, AR.js, Babylon.js, and this kind of stuff, where you have to use JS as a programming language. For Unity, you use C Sharp, and for Unreal, you use C++. So these are the 3D tools where I mentioned Maya and 3ds Max, where you will be creating the 3D model. For example, I've shown that there is an equipment, right? Coming back to our example, So this equipment is created in 3D in Blender or Maya, exported into Unreal or Unity or 3JS kind of softwares or like technologies where you can create the complete process as a like script or a blueprint, which is a virtual nodes connecting the process. Like you have to hold this, then this kind of action will happen. Then the user has to walk into a different place and kind of take some knob or kind of take a tool and try to switch the particular thing. So completely this process will be built in game engines or the 3D softwares like 3JS, eighth wall or these kind of like IDEs, but the 3D content creation will happen in Blender and Maya kind of softwares, where you'll be creating this kind of equipments, machineries, or even for the try-ons I've mentioned, right? Even those things will be created in 3D software and brought it into the Unity kind of softwares to build the complete process. So even here you can see, right? People can remotely train and even they can get the understanding and give a simulated exam at the end of the process. And they can even get the understanding of the analytics, how the user behaved, and what all things he has done in this particular training, because it is a complete simulated environment, right? So we can understand the complete user behavior through this kind of example. Any kind of questions till now?
I have a question. So you talked about two different things, right? So one is basically creating these 3D models or the 3D assets, and second portion is when we integrate that with game engine.
Yeah.
So, in your experience, how much generally is the effort distribution between these two activities? So, whether getting those 3D models built is something which just getting those 3D models built is something which is time consuming as compared to integrating that to a game engine, or it's that integration of coding in the game engine is something which is a key, a major challenge to do. So, which of
Okay.
these are more difficult and time
Understood.
consuming?
Yeah. So thank you for the question. It is very much interesting. So as it depends, right? So for example, if you have very much heavy machinery, yeah, it takes more time on the creation rather than building all this process and scripting the particular application. So, but it depends. Like for example, if you already have the machine or particular equipment, so they will have like CAD data or the particular design structure or design like copies, right? So it is very easy in that case to at least bring that creation effort down because you'll already have the CAD data. You can convert that into FBX or this kind of 3D formats. It will be at least 20 to 30% more effort after the CAD data is available to get into 3D like thing. So it generally for an application, it will at least take 40% of 3D content creation and remaining 60 will be the development and all this kind like multiplayer. If it is multiplayer supported and all these things, it will at least take 60% of the coding and all the analytics support. So 40% you can take as the 3D content creation and 2D graphics and all this. So even you will have 2D like content creation also because if there's an application, you have screens and all these things. So that is the thing. But if you have CAD data as said, so it will actually bring down the 40% also drastically because you will already have a base to convert. But if it is something new from scratch, so it will at least take
Hi,
40% of
I
100%.
have a question. So what about the hardware devices that
Thank you
is
for
used
answering that,
to
Lokesh.
capture the 360-degree environment or even to
Any other questions?
probably film industrial equipment that needs to be
Hi,
presented in a 3D
I have a
format?
question. So what about the hardware devices that are used to capture the 360-degree environment or even to probably film industrial equipment that needs to be presented in a 3D format?
Yeah, so there are different solutions even for scanning your 3D data. So again, as I told, it again depends. So if you want to fast forward the process, there are even devices to literally scan the real world machine and convert it. So after that also you have to do 10 or 20% of post processing because it will have additional data captured. But 360 images cannot be converted to 3D, right? So there is a difference. So 360 images will give you the environment details and environment look and feel, but not the machine. So that is where if you want a particular application to only have 360 images, so that is well and good. You can go to some like Matterport or different kind of tools are available, which will capture your surroundings, even like Samsung 360 camera
Okay. But
in that
so if
sense.
we
So
if
which
we are
will
able to
like capture your
capture
360 image and put it into
the
3R.
complete device,
But if you
that
want
will save the
equipment to
time
be
and effort
captured,
to
that
convert
is
that
like
into
still
a
you have to do a little bit of post processing after
model,
capturing
and
the
then
3D
import it
content.
into any of Okay, the but other so if we are able to capture the complete device, that will save the time and efforts to convert that into a 3D model and then import it into any of the other AR VR development environment, right?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay, thank you so much for that.
So after that, I want to cover metaverse. Yeah. If there are no questions, then very much move forward. So there are a lot of platforms and a lot of use cases around it. Okay. We have different worlds created around this. So after that, I wanted to cover metaverse. So metaverse nowadays become a very much buzzword, right? So there are a lot of platforms and a lot of use cases around it. So we have different worlds created around this, and we have different solutions right now, which you can really use, like Meta, Horizon, and different kind of solutions, where you can get into the virtual spaces, have your meetings, and even work there in the meetings and office space or something like that. So metaverse is nowadays majorly getting used for virtual events and gatherings, and again education and training, where you can bring your own like content and everything into the metaverse space and present it in the meetings and trainings, and even for gaming and entertainment. And apart from that, majorly we see in the real estate space, like virtual commerce and shopping and these kind of things, where people can come and buy stuff, like even using NFTs or just uh, just using it as a shopping space, right? Even Flipkart has announced for their shopping space, they are creating a metaverse space. So these are the main use cases right now where the metaverse is getting used for, or at least right now what we are seeing traction for. And even if you could have seen, there is a case study which I've brought, which is by Bangalore airport, which is into metaverse now, where you can go and experience. It is called Metaport, where it is converted the airport into metaverse based platform. So people can join that and get into a meeting space or take your boarding passes. So it is voice enabled and everything. So right now it is already available. So if you want, you can try that. So it is built with Polygon and hosted in AWS using Unreal Engine as a complete IDE to build that complete experience. So here are the three devices where mostly we use in the industry for the VR use cases. So I've even put Meta Quest Pro because it also supports VR and even it is a MR device. So HTC Vive is very much widely used, and Quest 2, which is portable and can be used for most of the VR use cases. Even what I've shown for the manufacturing, so I have built that using Quest 2, which is very much easy to use and easy to kind of get it also in India. So Meta Quest Pro is also very much newly come up, and it has great capabilities. So these are the three devices which we majorly use for VR development and experiences. So coming back, so mixed reality is also one of the horizon where we develop solutions. So as I mentioned, it is a mix of AR and VR, where you have basically the connection using gestures or interactions. Using your hand tracking, it will understand what you're touching and how you're interacting with. So even mixed reality applications, you can build either for HoloLens or Quest Pro using Unity, Unreal, and all this kind of like applications or IDEs. So the workflow will be same, like creating 3D models, bringing them into like the IDEs, and switching it to the process what we are actually trying to understand. Even Dynamic 365 is also one of the tools, Dynamic 365, which is like supported for HoloLens, so that we can kind of do the object tracking, understand like step by step process you can switch for remotely kind of implementing the process based steps. So this is the major like use cases what we do for mixed reality. So I'll just quickly run up on a video so that you will understand what is mixed reality, and this is from HoloLens, so it will mostly show HoloLens, but even we can use MetaQuest Pro in this scenario.
Connection is a spark that gives our lives meaning. It drives us to seek out others who feel the same way.
Okay, why don't you input the data and we'll take a look together. Hey Mari, what you got for me?
To find those who share our views, yet offer different perspectives.
Look over here.
Challenge us with new ways of seeing.
But I think we should.
Deepen our understanding. And enrich our lives.
最后一笔的时候，往前
Great things happen when we commit to something bigger than ourselves.
Take a closer look at it.
Place this here. Let's see how we go from there, okay?
This sense of collaboration and the feelings of connection it brings excites us.
Hey, just in time.
Part-3, maintaining 2800. We'll be clear for approach.
I'm gonna move it slightly, okay?
It's yours, take it.
We have 2 planes right now on the same trajectory.
As we put people first, technology fades into the background and feels like anything but.
Aisha, what do you think?
I think if we had 330, maintaining 2800, we'll be clear for approach.
Excellent.
This changes the way we see the world, and in turn, changes the world we see.
These numbers are looking great, actually.
There's promise in the possibilities, and what we see and create next will stretch the imagination.
Good morning, Sarah.
Morning.
Slowly coming towards the thumb.
A world without boundaries.
Good job. A lot better than yesterday.
Yeah.
Excellent. Slowly bring
A world where technology enhances, not limits, humanity. With people front, center, and in the spotlight. The future is here. And here can be anywhere.
So this is the like normal use case demo. So it has all these kind of things, like as I mentioned, Dynamic 365 for collaborative work, and